So, worldwide family, it's Omar S. once again. Dear readers, thank you for tuning in again. I hope you had a great weekend. Mine was all right, as good as it could be. I hope it was good for yours. I hope you had a great Mother's Day. Happy belated Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. I'll probably do a follow video to this one on the origins of Mother's Day, but that is beside the point right now. I wanted to share with you this one from the freethoughtproject.com. Very good site about stuff that's not really played in the mainstream media outlets. The bias, I guess you can say, about the freethoughtproject.com is they're kind of like anti-police, you can say, but honestly, like the reporting on the police brutality, police violence, it needs to be addressed and it needs to be recorded. And I think that the Free Thought Project does a great job about that. So, without further ado, cops assault innocent people, arrest Mother's Day diners at illegal restaurant. So in Fresno, California, with a population of over half a million people and less than 900 confirmed cases of COVID 19, the residents of Fresno, California are growing wary of the state's closure of non essential businesses. Some businesses have said to hell with it and have begun to open up. However, as restaurant patrons learned on Sunday, the badge wearing order followers are willing to enforce any law they are told, even if it means assaulting innocent people and arresting others. The Mother's Day is one of the busiest days of the year for restaurants. Knowing this, the owner of the restaurant Chicken and Waffles opened up and was ready to serve. The response to the restaurant's opening was so overwhelming that people waited outside for over an hour just to get a table inside. As patrons waited in line Sunday morning, the authorities showed up to keep them in their place. Officers demanded that the crowd outside the restaurant move aside so they could enter. The cops likely didn't expect the response that happened next. The restaurant patrons refused to move out of the way and formed a human shield in front of the door. Some restaurant patrons are heard telling the cops to wait in line like everyone else. So the cops did what cops do and escalated force. They started physically shoving people aside during the melee. The male officer proceeds to grab two random people, an elderly couple, and take them into custody. The couple is clearly in shock at what's happening as they have done nothing wrong. Nevertheless, Tom Miller Sr. was handcuffed and led away. This was in spite of the video clearly showing that Miller had no direct contact with the officer at all. Jim Fisher filmed the incident and posted video on Facebook with the caption stating, "Disgraceful on Mother's Day. We agree." According to Fox 26, the owner of the restaurant, Amar Ibrahim, has been knowingly violating the city's order to close. Last week, immediately after the city of Fresno issued a $1,000 fine for the restaurant being open, Ibrahim said his water slowed to a trickle. Ibrahim and others believe the city was responsible for that. According to Fox 26, the city of Fresno vehemently denies involvement, saying it's not shutting off anyone's water for any reason right now, while Fresno is under an emergency order. Authorities in California have already promised to shut off the water and electricity to businesses who defy the shutdown order. As for Miller, he was released by the officers a short time later. What charges he faces, if any, remain unclear. After the video began to make the rounds on Sunday, the Fresno Police Department was forced to respond. On Sunday afternoon, Chief Andy Hall sent out the following news release addressing the video. In the release, Hall noted that the officers' actions appeared to be a violation of department policy. Today at 840 hours 840 hours, the Fresno Police Department was dispatched to the Waffle House at 4025 West Fig Garden Drive to assist code enforcement officers from the city of Fresno. Attorney's office with issue attorneys let me begin that again. I'm sorry, dear reader. Today at 8400 hours, The Fresno Police Department was dispatched to the Waffle House at 4025 West Fig Garden Drive to assist code enforcement officers from the City of Fresno Attorney's Office with issuing a citation to the business owner for violating a City of Fresno emergency order as it relates to the legal operation of a restaurant during the COVID-19 pandemic. I have been briefed on the incident and have reviewed the video taken by a bystander. I am also in the process of reviewing the officer's body camera of the incident. As the chief of police, I am concerned over the manner in which this incident was handled, as it doesn't appear to be consistent with our department's policy concerning demonstrations or the directions I have given officers via a chief's memorandum for handling enforcement of the emergency order. I immediately ordered an internal affairs investigation of the incident. I would ask for the public's patience in this matter while the investigation is conducted. Below is what attempting to eat at a restaurant on Mother's Day looks like in a police state. So let's click on the link. I had it on like this simplified version that is a feature of this web browser on my phone. So let me scroll all the way down. Where'd it go? Oh, we lost it. Close that. That's probably okay. That's what it was. That's what was doing the do on that. Dear reader, bear with me. Oh, this is about drones. There's the video. Did they take it down? They must have took it down. Oh man. Well, at least we got a kind of like a description here. Maybe here. There we go.
Wait in line like everybody else. Yeah. And we got three back.
Why?
Make
way.
way.
We've been waiting for hours. We've been waiting for hours. You're arresting me for what? You're arresting me for what?
Interference,
I ain't interfering with shit. I can say anything I want to. I'm not gonna fucking do it.
Hey, you don't arrest me. Hey, you don't hit me. Hey.
Oh, you got a fucking video.
Yeah, you want to tell me somebody? Get your whole ass out of here. Right, you tell me. Get that off of me. Oh my God. Get that off.
Right now.
Let's work out with them. Let's go ahead and work out with them. Yeah, let's go ahead and work out with them.
This was an intimate look into what happens in a crisis situation, obviously completely unplanned, and that I think for people gives some humanity to what is happening.
Well, it's, that late on a Friday, it's really not unusual to get goofy people calling in. It's a talk show and people will be funny. So Skip and I had just finished a story about a kid in Albuquerque who had found $135,000 laying on the ground next to an ATM and did the right thing and called the cops and turned it in. And so when I looked at the call screen, I saw the words, James Clovis says his apartment is surrounded by the police. And both of us just kind of assumed that we were probably going to get somebody riffing on the whole face mask thing, that it was going to be somebody saying they're detaining me because I'm not wearing my mask, because that's been a theme. And we picked it up, and as you could hear, that was not what that call was.
As Philip was taking the call, I'm online trying to figure out if there's actual police activity happening somewhere in the Clovis area. And then also thinking, do we possibly have somebody who might be schizophrenic or high or drunk calling in? And as the process was going, he was making more and more sense, implying that this was actually happening.
The relief in that moment, because if you listen to that audio and you hear James's frustration and anger boiling over as he realizes that he's going to be arrested. This is going to be the conclusion. And then hearing the officers ultimately make the decision to deploy a non-lethal deterrent. I believe they tased him to get him to submit and take restraints. It's a weird thing to hear somebody get hurt and to be that angry, but to be relieved because he's going to get the care that he needs. Because look, I really don't know anything about James. My entire awareness of this human being started when we answered that phone call. If you listen to him talk about his kids, you can hear a person who is suffering profoundly, emotionally, at this separation. And whatever he's accused of, whatever he's pled guilty to, this is a human being who someday needs to be able to hug his babies again.
Wait in line like everybody else. And we got three folks go back.
Why? They
Make
don't have to
way.
let you in. They don't have to let you in. No, they
We've
don't.
been waiting for hours.
We've been waiting for hours. You arrest me for what?
Okay?
You arrest me for what?
Interference, okay?
I ain't interfering with shit. I can say anything I want to. I'm not going to go to
Hey, you don't touch me.
Hey, you don't hit my head.
Fuck you, man. You touching me.
Oh, they only got a fucking case. You got a case.
You're on video. Now you want to tell to somebody? Get your whole ass out here.
You know what you mean. Shit now.
Straight through telling. Get that off of me. Oh my
That's
God.
why I like to get a civil right.
Get that off.
Right now.
This is what he's going to keep doing.
Yeah, let's march out with them. Let's go ahead and march out with them. Yeah, let's go ahead and march out with them. Come on. Let's go march out with them.
That's the violation.
Right now, lanes of Freeway 99 south of Selma are still closed after a deadly pileup crash stopped hundreds of drivers for hours. The CHP tonight says that an 11-year-old girl has died.
All right, so that's sorry. This is my first time watching this. I didn't mean to throw that in the mix there, but man. It's just very infuriating to watch. But yeah. Let me know what you think in the comments section below, dear reader. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned.